Today. Today has been a day. So, to go and get my blood drawn, labs, fasting. Anyway, so on the way there, we don't have any problem because we haven't. And then I find out that some sneaky bastard changed the wording of a law whenever I go to make a complaint because the guy coming back didn't want to bring us. And then whenever I went to complain about it, they're like, oh, we looked it up and the exact wording of the law has one word. That just... But it's not... And I'm like, even with someone having... And I cannot find the annotation because, that's hard to find online. You actually have to go to a law library for that. And even then I don't know what kind of access you have to have. But I've stumbled on stuff like that, where all that was amended was a word, and the date that the law itself was changed isn't changed for that, despite the fact that a wording might change it entirely. This was actually pretty jarring for us, because it originally stated, that, you either met these requirements or you were at least this age. Now they want you to do both. And I'm like, he meets the requirements, but he's a couple years off from, not years, but he's a couple months off from being 8. And I'm like, they just did this to us, oh, and then you've probably got some asshole out there, well, ignorance of the law doesn't excuse it. And I'm like, you can't follow it if you don't know it. It's not like they have, some person that goes out and announces this stuff. They just change a wording, just willy-nilly. So I'm mad. And, I haven't had my coffee yet. Exceedingly mad, and I haven't had my coffee yet. So now we have to, dig out his booster seat and be like, yeah, he's completely tall enough, but... because some asshole reworded the law, even though it's not enforced that way, because I've literally never heard of it being enforced that way. This is why it was so jarring. We didn't know that a word got changed, and we didn't know that. So, now that, basically, the way that this guy handled it was absolutely atrocious, and they were completely excusing his behavior. He was just kind of harping on it, and then, because Chris isn't 6 foot tall, and I'm like, okay, I get that I'm not a horribly tall person, but he comes up to my chin when I'm standing. He's past my shoulders, and he's up to my chin. The kid is tall, okay? There's no getting around this. So now, something that was probably done with the intention of dealing with people who have 8-year-olds that are particularly small, and used the or, as a way to not have them, in it. I hate how Arizona does this, because they'll do this. This is not the first law that they've done this to. It's just the first one that hit us upside the head like this. So now we gotta dig out his booster seat, just so that some asshole can't argue some technicality somewhere that was probably meant to deal with people whose kids are of that age and not that size. And I'm just like, why would you do this to people? Because he's tall. He's really tall. He's tall. He's done and passed the height requirements. He's a big boy. I guess it's a good thing that, he doesn't have a wide butt. Otherwise, this would be exceedingly uncomfortable for him. But, it's only for a couple months, I guess. But this is still ridiculous. They should have to announce whenever things like this are changed. But they don't. They just change a wording. A word. It was just a word.